Yo, what has just happened? What has just happened? The NBA really just said, WNBA, watch this. All the drama, all the noise about free agency in the WNBA and the NBA just stopped it literally immediately. Everybody's been up since 12 a.m. since been like talking about the Los Angeles Lakers acquiring Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks in a move that was done in the like a thief in the night. Nobody knew. Nobody knew what was going on, and everybody got this news, and people were talking about, is this real? Is this true? Did Shams get hacked? No, he did not get hacked. No, this is it's not any. This is not fake news. Yes, this is legitimate. Luka Doncic is going to be a member of the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James. Anthony Davis is going to play with the Dallas Mavericks. How did we get here? How did we come this far? I have no idea. It's a lot of reports are coming out. Nico, the GM right now for the Dallas Mavericks, said he believes that defense wins championships. That's a shade. That's a shot thrown to Luka Doncic. Also came out and said they were pretty much unsure if Luka Doncic was going to sign a supermax contract. And there was rumors about Luka Doncic possibly wanting out. So now we are here. We have Luka Doncic, who's probably going to be back before the All-Star break. And we have a Dallas Mavericks team that has now Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, and now you have Anthony Davis, which gets to go and return to play at the 4 spot, which is he's been kind of in the media making statements and kind of making rumblings about like how he prefers to be the a 4, how basically the Lakers are 1 or 2 pieces away. And maybe the Lakers got fed up. Maybe the Lakers got tired of Anthony Davis, who was kind of not becoming a nuisance, but going to the media a lot and kind of complaining about the organization. And the organization, okay, so you wanna play the 4, you want a center, we're gonna slime you out and ship you to American Airlines Center. You can go play with the Dallas Mavericks. And it is something to believe when we talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, and they are the greatest franchise of all franchises because this is what they do. They get star players. They get the big fish in the pond. They get any player. And that's why the people for fans and people always call the Lakers fans in their community delusional. But they have a right to be delusional because anytime it's a superstar or transcending player or unique talent that people believe that's not available, normally ends up on the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is just what happened with the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks. And essentially, the Dallas Mavericks called up the Los Angeles Lakers because they wanted to get rid of Luka Doncic because of some of the concerns that I already outlined earlier in the stream. This is a fantastic deal for the Los Angeles Lakers. It's also a good move for the Dallas Mavericks. And a lot of people are going to say, well, the Dallas Mavericks could have got more draft picks. The Dallas Mavericks could have put Luka Doncic on the trading block. They would have got more for their buck that they received with the Los Angeles Lakers when they got Max Christie, a 2029 draft pick, and Anthony Davis. And also, I believe the Utah Jazz was part of this trade as well. They got Jalen, and they got 2 second-round picks. And we know the Los Angeles Lakers, they got Max, they got Luka Doncic, and another player as well. And people are going to say, well, the Dallas Mavericks could have got more for Luka Doncic. And I'm here to tell you, no, they could not. People are going to talk about draft picks. People are going to talk about all these draft picks that the Dallas Mavericks could have wanted. But it's not always about doing trade machines on ESPN. It's not always about what people perceive may be the right move or the right deal or these picks that the Utah Jazz or Oklahoma City Thunder like to acquire and obtain. Because the fact of the matter is you don't know what those picks are going to turn into be, and you have to draft players and you have to see their potential and they have to fulfill that promise. And the truth of the matter is there is no player on the market they were going to get better than Anthony Davis. That's why they went out and traded for Anthony Davis and target Anthony Davis because they wanted a all NBA caliber 2-way player, which is Anthony Davis. They wanted a generational type of big. They weren't going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. They weren't going to get Nikola Jokic. They weren't going to trade for Joel Embiid, who was injury prone. So they went out and got the next best deal in for having a generational big man and Anthony Davis. They wanted Anthony Davis. There's no player out there on the market that was going to be available in a trade for Luka Doncic that was going to get them Anthony Davis, a player that they wanted clearly. So when you talk about the Dallas Mavericks could have did a better move and got a better deal, I do not believe so, because they did not want draft picks. They didn't want young players. They wanted a win-now player, an all-NBA caliber player, the best defender in the world, in my opinion, especially in the playoffs, especially when he's locked in and engaged. And they got that in Anthony Davis. And if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you did it again. And people are going to sit up and say that the Dallas Mavericks won this trade and that the Dallas Mavericks have a championship contender with their roster. And sure, maybe in the short term you can look at it. I don't know if the Los Angeles Lakers are done making moves and acquiring players. I think this move with Luka Doncic sets the precedent for them moving forward post LeBron James. And who knows if LeBron James is still going to be on a roster. I expect him to be on a roster, because if you are the Golden State Warriors, sure, LeBron James can possibly go there, or maybe he goes back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They could use a wing, or even the Miami Heat. But I expect LeBron James to retire as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, considering the fact that his son is about to play in Arizona. He wants to retire as a Los Angeles Laker, and he doesn't really have no reason to possibly go play with the Golden State Warriors, who aren't really going to be a title contender as well, especially if they slash and gut the roster with trading for him as well. His best situation is to play out this year and to play out next year, and then probably retire with the Los Angeles Lakers. But people are going to say that the Dallas Mavericks won this trade. Short term, maybe so. Long term, hell no. And to be honest, even short term, because the best player is on the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't get this twisted. Don't get this confused. I'm going to say this again, actually. The Los Angeles Lakers did win this trade because Luka Doncic is a 5-time All-Star, 5-time first-team All-NBA member, Rookie of the Year, second all-time already in playoff points per game, third all-time in points per game average so far, 6th all-time in playoff triple-doubles, and 7th all-time in triple-doubles already. And they traded him for Anthony Davis, who was an all-NBA player, two-way defender, two-way player, but he's 31 years old. He's clearly in his prime right now. Luka Doncic is only 25 years old. He's about to enter his prime. 26 to 27 ages is when NBA players tend to enter their prime. And people are going to say that, oh, all these reports, he was 270 pounds. Wow, 270 pounds, averaging 31, 11, and 10 this year. He must be doing something right. So I'm not really moved by all those things that are coming out about Luka Doncic. People are saying that he's a bad teammate. People are saying that the Dallas Mavericks did not want to offer him the Supermax contract, which could be true. Those things could be facts. But when you're an organization and you have a generational type of player and you have a player that has been deemed league-wide as untouchable, you just try to figure it out and you make things work. But as I always say, GMs are more so accountants than actually going out and trying to compete for championships. As we saw the move with Karl-Anthony Towns when they shipped him to the New York Knicks, that was a roster cap move. This right now, but I believe with the Dallas Mavericks, is a roster cap move as well, because they did not want to pay Luka Doncic a supermax contract, because they probably felt that being a small market team in Dallas, which is crazy to think about, Dallas being a small market team, but it is essentially when we think about the markets. They did not want to pay Luka Doncic a $400 million supermax contract. But don't get it twisted. Luka Doncic and the Los Angeles Lakers won this trade because they acquired the best player who's going to be and take the Los Angeles Lakers on his back and carry that mantle of a great all-time player for the next decade, similar to what the Los Angeles Lakers have always done before. So, and I'm shocked, and the world is kind of like, what the hell just happened? Only time in my life if I've really been this shocked was when LeBron James signed to the Miami Heat, my favorite team growing up, got to play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. When KD went to the Golden State Warriors, and when Luka Doncic got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. These are the 3 times I've been most shocked in NBA history, and has really gathered all social media. It's put social media in an uproar, and people are like, what the hell is going on? But if you are a Los Angeles Lakers fan, if you are a diehard fan, a lot of diehard fans for the Los Angeles Lakers are a little confused about Anthony Davis being traded because Los Angeles Lakers don't really tend to do certain things when it comes to their superstar players. They really do things normally the right way. But when you have a chance at a generational player that's 25 years old, a player that is going to be a future MVP in this league, a player that is extremely talented, extremely gifted, as Luka Doncic, then you have to go out and you have to make that move. But this is what the Lakers have done historically for their organization. They drafted Magic Johnson. Then Kareem came over. You know what I'm saying? They had Kareem already, but then they drafted Magic Johnson, but they got Kareem from the Milwaukee Bucks, transcending talent. Then you had Magic Johnson, transcending talent. Then you get Shaquille O'Neal, transcending talent. Then you get Kobe Bryant, and everybody knew you wanted Kobe Bryant. You traded for Kobe Bryant. We know what Kobe Bryant became. Like, generational greatest Laker of all time in my eyes. Then you got LeBron James to come over. Arguably the GOAT in most people's eyes, if not the GOAT, top 3 of all time. And then you traded for Anthony Davis, a generational big man in the modern day NBA. And then now you trade Anthony Davis and you get Luka Doncic, a player who's going to carry that mantle, that Los Angeles Lakers legacy for the next decade. This is what the Los Angeles Lakers do. They don't go for small moves. We all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were 1 or 2 pieces away potentially for trying to go after and have a deep playoff run. They're the 4th seed right now in the Western Conference. They've been a top 5 defensive team in the past 20 games, largely due to Anthony Davis. And they said, you know what? We're not going after – we don't want to trade for Trae Young. We don't want to trade for Jimmy Butler. We don't want Zach LaVine. We don't want De'Aaron Fox. But we'll take Luka Doncic. And now it seems like the Lakers have kind of punted their season because we don't know how this is going to affect their roster for this season. They need another center. They need some moves that needs to be done. But in reality, if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you probably don't give a damn about this season. That probably makes LeBron James feel some type of way because LeBron James wants to compete for championships because his clock is ticking. This year could be his last year. Most likely would be next year would be his last year in his 23rd season. But it seems like they kind of just punted this season away. And they were the 4th seed. Instead of going out and getting marginal moves and keeping Anthony Davis, they decided to go out and trade for Luka Doncic, which is going to be their next generational player that's going to carry the franchise forward for the next decade. So it's like, if you're LeBron James, how do you feel about that? If you're LeBron James, are you confused? Are you upset? Because reports have been coming out that LeBron James did not even know that this was going on because it happened during the night as well. And people are going to say, well, LeBron James knows everything. Yes and no, because if you think about it, LeBron James has also been vocal about not getting support or the Los Angeles Lakers not making moves and acquiring players. And probably because Los Angeles Lakers felt that Anthony Davis and LeBron James, they wanted Russell Westbrook, and that didn't necessarily work out. So they weren't going to necessarily listen to LeBron and Anthony Davis. They were going to do things when they wanted to do things, and they wanted to make sure that they were setting themselves up for success post LeBron James, and that's what they're doing. So it's going to be interesting. Kyrie Irving, Gypsy Kyrie is back. First option Kyrie is back with the Dallas Mavericks. That's going to be a fun team to watch because they have a title contender. I'll be lying if I said that the Dallas Mavericks couldn't win a championship this year. They have pieces, they have tools. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. Are they going to be a great team defensively? Yes. Do I feel like they need some more shooting? Possibly so. But Kyrie Irving is finally going to get the opportunity once again to be the first option, scoring option on this team. And we're going to see how that's going to translate come the postseason and also for the rest of the season, because it's going to be adjustment as well, even though Kyrie has been doing a pretty damn good job since Luka Doncic has been out. But now it's just like you don't have Luka Doncic. Now teams are going to target on Kyrie Irving, which they're always targeting on Kyrie Irving. But this is very interesting. This trade happened in the middle of the night. I mean, nobody could predict this. Nobody saw this coming. But once again, this trade also set the precedent for what GMs and owners are going to do in the future when we talk about these enormous contracts, especially if you are a small market team and you feel like you don't want to go over the luxury tax. Luka Doncic wanted a max contract. He was set to receive a max contract with the Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks decided to trade him, meaning Luka Doncic is going to lose $100 million. And if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you're benefiting for this because now Luka Doncic, sure, he can leave once his contract is up, but even if he leaves, he's not going to recoup the same $100 million for the Supermax. He's ineligible for that. And as well as the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be the only team that's going to be able to sign him the most money, even if he decides to leave. And the Los Angeles Lakers in that market, playing the Los Angeles Lakers, the marketability and things of that nature, Luka Doncic probably can backdoor and recoup some of that money that he's lost on the Supermax contract with the Dallas Mavericks. But if you're Luka Doncic, you are extremely upset because you just lost out on $100 million. And you were blindsided as well. And it's been rumors about, of course, Luka Doncic's conditioning, his weight, him being a kind of erratic in the locker room at times, and being a not so great of a teammate. But at the same time, this is Luka Doncic. He's 25 years old. This is a player that you want to keep on your franchise and you want to build out your franchise. Everybody thought that Luka Doncic was going to retire a Dallas Maverick, similar to Dirk Nowitzki. So this is shocking. But this sets a precedent for owners and GMs going forward, because if they do not believe, if they feel like you're not doing everything as a player to be a generational player or a transcending talent, they're not going to play these guys these $75, $80 million, $100 million contracts, which is going to be eventually the new norm within the NBA. What they're going to do is they're going to move on from this particular player, and they're going to save money in the long term instead of just giving a player that they feel like that's not maximizing their full potential, whether that's effort on the defensive side, whether that's their conditioning, whatever they feel like that player needs to be a franchise player. But Luka Doncic is being traded for his conditioning, and the Mavericks getting fed up over Luka Doncic before the Pelicans get fed up over Zion Wilson is hilarious, and it's so funny, to be honest. I never thought I'll see a day where Luka Doncic's conditioning would make the Mavericks trade Luka Doncic away before Zion Williamson. And this is a player that Luka Doncic, who's been very durable for most of his career. But it's your boy, My K Smith. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe. Always remember, faith without works is dead. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on to your own understanding, and always acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. I am gone, man. Peace.